Able Nexus Sphere! Woo! Okay, in 2012, I made a sacred promise to show up for Story. And I also set an intention to build a $1 million press. The audacity of me setting such a huge intention, but I had been studying the law of attraction. I don't do limitations or boundaries, so I thought, if not, why not me? I'm going to go on this journey. I had 4 children at the time. I went on to have 2 more, but I was able to do it in my time and do it my way and have fun on the journey. And I work hard, but I always say hell yes to what it is that is the next step. So it takes courage and you have to be fearless to go on such a quest. I thought it was going to take me 25 years and it took me 7. But I want to share with you a little bit about the journey of how I made that happen, because as authors, I was an author first before I was a publisher. I wrote my first novel in 2010 during NaNoWriMo, which is National Novel Writing Month. And that book became a catalyst into publishing for me. My studies are humanities, not publishing, but it shows how passionate I am about story. So with the essence of that, and with a lot of love and intention fueled behind that, I made the sacred promise to show up for Story. I set up my own publishing press and went on the journey. And I know the value of money, because money makes things happen. And we need more good people with money in the world, because then more good things happen. So I opened my arms to the abundance that was going to flow to me on this journey, and I showed up for every next step. Because that's it. I didn't need to think about the $1 million press at that time. That was overwhelming. I didn't know how that was going to happen, but I knew I was committed and dedicated to the journey of every next step. And it was the same when I wrote my first novel. I done the next day of 1,667 words, and the next day, and after a month I had a 50,000 word novel. It was always the next step that I committed to. And how did I know what the next step was? I'm very connected to my knowing, and I know what is a yes and what is a no. So I've had to honor that on my journey. And I have said yeses to no's and learned and paid the price. But I have always kept very focused on the journey. And the secret recipe in my journey to success was to be of service. So not only have I written a book and have I written many books, I also set up a publishing company, but I became of service to others and joined other people on the journey, because it became my genius zone, because I was journeying. I was an author who wrote a book and didn't know what to do with it. And I was learning, and as I was learning, I wanted to share with others and join other people on the journey to go on the way. But also, I realized to have impact and make a difference in the publishing industry, I was going to have impact. And that took me, knowing my value and knowing what it is that I wanted to achieve. So in 2012, I set up my own publishing division. And my first author was Paul Musambi from Africa, and he owned an orphanage and he wanted to share his story. And I was like, cool, wow, what a first book to come my way. It was called Prickle in a Dream. And so we published that book, and that book created lovely awareness for his orphanage and all of that thing. And I was like, wow, words are powerful, and sharing a story has a ripple effect that can help, humanity. So, and I was writing my own novels and publishing them and journeying, and anything new I would test out on myself so that I knew it worked before I would share it to anybody else. And so I grew. And at the beginning, I'd done everything myself apart from editing. Editors, you are amazing if you're an editor. I am not, I can't micro things like that, but I can set huge intentions and build big dreams. And so going on the journey of each year was progressional. And when I had my $1 million year, it was actually in the middle of COVID, when other when other businesses were struggling and laying off staff, we were actually taking on people. And I realized that it was because was always ready, COVID ready, I suppose. And so I always just went with the ebbs and flows of what was going on in my world and in the world at the time. But a lot of people were showing up for Story during that time. A lot of people started to write their books, and a lot of people called on me to help them on their journey. And it was a welcome distraction, and they ticked that box, and I helped them to do it efficiently and all of those wonderful things. And so I done it in 7 years, not 25. And I was like, wow, you know when you realize something before, and it wasn't until after the fact that I realized it, but I was in so much flow. And I think that was one of the big things, one of the lessons I learned was to be of service and to be in flow. And keep my energy and my vibration nice and high, because that's where everything flows through that. And it takes courage, and it takes a bit of letting go to allow that to happen. And we need things to circulate. I talk about everything happening in cycles. When I set a new intention, it's a cycle to realizing it and making it, a dream, and making it come to fruition. So when I actually had my $1 million year, I was on fire. I was winning awards all over the place. I was publishing books. I was just so lit up. Everything in family life was beautiful and flowing, and everything was wonderful. And I was just so happy and full. My cup was full. I was overflowing. And I think that's one of the big things that I learned, because I've went through my adversities in life. It hasn't been all roses, but I put on my rose-tinted glasses, and I see the world through that lens. And I know that I have to pour into me first, so that then I can pour into others and give the best of myself to them, so that can have a ripple effect. And so I just wanted to really share that journey, that if you set an intention and commit to it and honor the journey to making it happen. It's going to be bumpy, there's going to be challenges, but challenges are opportunities to grow into the next version of yourself, so that your dreams are just the very next step. That is something that I believe all authors need to know and understand. We go on a journey, we have to release inhibitions. We have to, if we're building up a brand, we have to allow that to grow, and there's going to be ups and downs, and some people, you're going to be times you want to give up. But after every struggle, there's a breakthrough. So celebrate the breakthroughs. Happy dance with them. I'm not doing my happy Irish dance. And just go with the flow of your authorship, because it's your journey, your individual journey, and you're the one steering the ship. You are the one, the author behind your book, and you can have the biggest adventure of your life. I'm addicted to it. I've written and published over 40 of my own books. I love it. I love the vibe. I love the impact. I love the energy I'm in when I'm writing, and I love the feedback I get when somebody reads it. And so I really want that for everybody. I'm like, come on everybody, let's embrace authorship, let's embrace story, and let's be of service and see the impact that you can make in the world. Thank you so much.